if you're being polyamorous and you're dating multiple people, is there usually a main one for you personally?
For me personally, kind of yes. Like right now, I kind of two that aren't like I see roughly around. For me, it's kind of just descriptive. Like if I just happen to be seeing you a lot more and I confide in you more than you, like you're descriptively my primary partner. But I don't usually have rules to protect that. I'm down with rules to protect it if you're trying to build something. Like if I buy a house together, I'd be like, okay, we need to like whatever our relationship is, we have to do the thing where we're both paying the rent for the house or the mortgage or whatever. Uh, a lot of people do have primary, so it's very common to have like prescriptive, like I'm gonna get married to you and you're not allowed to like have anal sex with anybody else, that sort of thing.
What about like the transparency and the communication they have to do? Yeah, I usually try to be super honest about it.
Extremely, yeah. I mean, I've learned over time that like even if it seems like a very small thing, you talk about the small thing. Because often I would just sort of have like a small twitch in myself, like I don't know if I like that, but I'd be like, okay, this is really minor. It's probably nothing, and I don't. If I talk about it, it's going to make it into a thing, and I just don't want to make it into a thing, you know. And I've come to realize that it's worth making it into a thing because I can't predict at the time if like the small feeling I have is going to grow, and then when I grow it, now it's like much more difficult to deal with. So now it's like any little bit of jealousy I have, immediately communicate it. I'm like, I'm a little jealous of you right now. I don't hold that in at all. I used to be kind of like, back when I first started being poly, I used to try to pretend that I was not a jealous person, and that backfired quite a lot.
That's really interesting. So you do still feel jealousy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like it, and it's also interesting that you kind of recommend when there's a little bit of jealousy, like to bring that to the surface.
Yeah, just like excessively communicate, even if it feels stupid. Like I feel like a cliche. I feel like a stupid therapist training video. Like I just feel ridiculous sometimes when I'm saying the things, but I've learned over time it's just important to just say the things.
Because like, the traditional view of jealousy is exactly like you said. If you bring it up to the surface, like it's going to sound like you're overreacting to everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying like still do it because you're basically, your brain blows stuff out of proportion.
Yeah, and it's good to like be going through it with a partner. Like I have a partner right now who's like dating this other girl, and he like really likes her, and he like went traveling with her and stuff. And I was like, I feel jealous about it, and I have to tell him that, and that way he can be with me in it.
Mm-hmm.
He holds me when I'm feeling jealous, and it's like a bonding experience, you know. But it's important for me that like he's able to handle it. Like I try not to date people who really freak out when I have negative emotions, because I want to be able to express that I'm upset by something they're doing without it being taken as a demand that they change their behavior.
Right. So he has to be able to skillfully handle that interaction.
He has to be like, cool, all right, you're jealous. Like, I'm not going to freak out about it. I'm not going to change my behavior. I'm just going to be with you in that. We're going to sit in it together.
I mean, is some of that just insecurity that he should also just comfort, like basically alleviate your insecurity, bring you back to like a rational, objective evaluation, right?
In my relationships, I love it when people do not reassure me. I like not being comforted quite a lot.
Okay.
And so usually the people I date don't. I'm very gravitating. Like it's one of the things people do to make me fall in love with them is if I say something really like terrible, and they're just like, do not give me any comfort whatsoever. Like that's where my heart gets captured. So I typically am in relationships where I'm like, oh man, I'm so jealous. And they just like do not reassure me at all. And that's good because it doesn't give me an out. Like I have to deal with it myself.
Right.
Like
they're
maybe
still
it is
there
true
to hear it.
that the other woman is better than me. Like maybe that is an actual possible reality. And I don't want to be dealing with my life in a way where I'm like pretending like I'm only okay when that reality is not true.
Would you like them to say that the other woman is better than you?
Yeah. Or that they prefer.
If they feel that?
Yeah. I mean, they should say it according to themselves. Like, oh, I prefer, like, I have a better time with her than I have with you, then I would want to know that. Yeah.
And even though that might be painful to hear.
Yes. That which can be destroyed by the truth should be.
That which can be destroyed by the truth. What is that? That your ego or something like that?
Yeah, my ego.
So your ego just generally grows and you like the destruction of it.
Yeah. It's like really
the process of truth.
It's not like a fun experience. Like I've had like guys be like, well, you're not as pretty as I'd like. And I'm just like, oh, so stabbed to the heart.
But then also like, give me your number after.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's kind of beautiful.